Agriparks earned over $36 million in 2013, employing more than 1,000 persons. We'll give you the update later in the show. This is Jamaica Magazine, and I'm your host, Audrey Williams. Welcome. Also coming up within the half hour, enabling young persons to create their own employment in the virtual world through Digital Jam 3.0. There's more, including the news of the day, so stay with us.
A message from the Bureau of Gender Affairs and the Dispute Resolution Foundation, paid for by the UN Women Fund for Gender Equality.
Good day, I'm Samantha Allen, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, February 13. Jamaicans and potential investors are being assured that the country's financial system remains strong amidst austerity measures on the government's economic reform program. Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips gave that assurance on Wednesday at a forum hosted by the Department of Economics at the University of the West Indies, Mona.
There is no reason to have any suspicion about the integrity and the financial stability of any of the institutions. Our regulatory environment is sound. Our regulatory standards, in fact, exceed those in the Basel III standards and provisions, and we are confident in the stability and sustainability of the financial system.
Dr. Phillips added that prior to the national debt exchange, the banking sector was subject to extensive stress testing from local and international interests. In addition, liquidity support for banks that encountered problems following the debt exchange remains untouched. The finance minister also asserted that legislative changes to the Omnibus Banking and Financial Securities Acts would give the Bank of Jamaica added powers to govern and strengthen the banking sector. Meanwhile, the Development Bank of Jamaica is on track to roll out its venture capital fund later this year. Minister Phillips says the aim is to provide capital for those entrepreneurs with good ideas.
It's going to be accomplished in two ways, really, and we have sought in many ways to do it. It's going to be accomplished through venture funds and the like. It's going to be accomplished by maintaining fiscal prudence, which will ensure that there are none of these spikes in unforeseen spikes and crises as far as interest rates are concerned.
Legislative amendments to the Securities Interest in Personal Property Act should also facilitate more access to funds for developing small businesses. The Agriculture Ministry has disbursed more than $10 million in grants to help exporters improve their operations and meet the requirements of the United States Food Safety Modernization Act. Following a tour of 2 export facilities in Western Jamaica recently, Agriculture and Fisheries Minister Roger Clark said he was very pleased with the resulting improvements.
Our commitment is to do whatever we can to make sure that we achieve the food safety standards necessary not only for exports, but to make our people aware of what food safety means. And we are well on our way, and I think we have some very cooperative people working with, and I think we will achieve what we have set out to achieve.
Minister Clark said the number of operators benefiting from the assistance will be extended from 7 to 24 during the course of the year. Victor Wright of Supreme Quality Exports in Frome, Westmoreland speaks highly of the program.
We know our hair tie at a more better facility, better lighting, better ventilation, more secure from pests, etc. And we also got a lot of consultations on how to take care of our employees, how to manage our traceability. So not only did we get financial assistance for the physical infrastructure, we also got some technical advice as to how to better allow that facility to work for us.
Children in at least one state care facility will soon be in a better position to transition to adulthood following the full implementation of the Homestead Independent Living Project. Under the project, a cottage at the Homestead Place of Safety in Stony Hill, St. Andrew is being refurbished to provide an avenue for the girls to take care of themselves. Among other things, the girls will be taught computer and vocational skills such as cosmetology to provide them with the expertise necessary to obtain or create jobs. Through a $4 million donation from the British High Commission, the Rotary Club of St. Andrew will be partnering with the Child Development Agency, the CDA, to refurbish and retrofit the building with appropriate tools. Youth Minister Lisa Hanna thanked the organizations for partnering with the CDA, adding that it fitted into government's mandate to provide additional support to children in state care.
We have been on a very strategic objective to not only ensure that we take care of our children in state care, but that we also ensure that there's a transition mechanism for girls and boys and that they feel comfortable both emotionally and physically to go out there into the world of work and to live on their own and be independent.
The Homestead Place of Safety currently provides support to 61 girls aged 13 to 18 years in need of care and protection. The matter involving disputed land at Pinnacle in St. Catherine has been referred to the Ministry of Land. That recommendation comes from Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller, who previously appointed a 3-member committee to deal with the issues raised by the Rastafarian community. The chair of that committee, Ambassador Burchell Whiteman, has presented the Land Minister, Robert Pickersgill, with relevant documents and information on the issue. Pinnacle is located in the St. Jago Hills housing development, where most of the lots are currently owned by private individuals. The Rastafari community regards the area as the spiritual home of the movement founded by the late Leonard P. Howell, who headed a community at Pinnacle between 1939 and 1945. The lot containing remnants of the Great House in which he lived has been declared a National Heritage Site by the Jamaica National Heritage Trust. Discussions continue about other sites in the community. And finally, government has planned a series of public consultations to provide information on the Climate Change Framework Policy and Action Plan, the Green Paper for which was tabled in Parliament last year. The consultations are being implemented by the Climate Change Division in the Ministry of Water, Land, Environment and Climate Change. They'll be held in 4 key parishes: St. Mary on February 14, St. Elizabeth on the 18th, and St. James and Kingston on the 19th. The consultations will be specifically targeted at farmers, fisherfolk, business owners and non-governmental organizations. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Samantha Allen. Thanks for watching.
Crocodiles contribute significantly to maintaining pollution-free waters and clean habitats for themselves and other wildlife.
They serve a purpose in our marine ecosystems. Them being scavengers, they help with the health of our marine systems, which impacts the fish that we like to eat in Jamaica.
Every wildlife, plant and animal, has a linkage to the ecosystem that makes it healthy.
Moreover, the crocodile is an endangered species and is protected under Jamaica's Wildlife Protection Act. The penalty for capturing crocodiles, harming them, or having any part in one's possession, living or dead, is $100,000 and up to 2 years in prison. Let's care and protect our endangered species. Stop eating crocodiles.
Growing to feed ourselves and to reduce the country's high food import bill are targets the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries have set out to achieve from its 9 agro parks. Of the 6 already in operation, the rewards to date are promising.
1,000 acres under production, 36.3 million Jamaican dollars in earnings, and over 1,000 persons employed. In 2013, government went full speed ahead to get the 8,000 acres of prime farmlands on its 9 agro-parks into production. Major progress was made on 6. Plantain Garden River and Yallas in St. Thomas, Amity Hall and Hill Run in St. Catherine, Ebony Park in Clarendon, and New Forest's Duff House on the border of Manchester and St. Elizabeth. Though only a combined 1,000 acres have been planted at these sites to date, stakeholders are already seeing the potential for huge returns. Take Amity Hall, for example. More than $11 million has been earned, mostly from the harvesting of assorted vegetables.
So far, we have been planting over 30 acres of pumpkin on the park. The farmers have sweet potatoes over 18.5 acres in production. Our hot peppers, our Scotch bonnet, also over 16.5 acres is now in production. And this is a significant change to what we had started on for the past 7 months. If you look around also, the farmers have been planting even crops such as scallion, tomatoes, okras on a large scale, and I can tell you, out there the market is here for these crops.
Amity Hall is also boasting $3.2 million in income from over 18,000 bushels of sorghum and $1.7 million from 7,000 bales of hay.
As we speak, another 4 acres have been planted with a timetable to plant the entire 800 acres that we have leased to Caribbean Ballers by about April or so.
This is good news for persons in the horse industry and dairy farmers who need good supplies of hay, particularly during the dry season.
Thanks to the hay production, we should be able to have an increase in milk production this year.
Amity Hall Agro Park farmers are also testing Irish potato production on 5 acres and carrying out soil testing for ginger and turmeric. And there are plans to produce 131 acres of onion. Onion is also a major crop for the farmers working the Plantain Garden River Agro Park in St. Thomas. An outbreak of soft rot disease and faulty irrigation system caused yields to be less than the 600,000 pounds expected. But as onion accounts for a significant portion of the country's high food import bill, the Agriculture Ministry is helping the farmers implement best practices to produce higher yields of the crop.
And we injected $7.5 million to see what we could do to help.
In the meantime, production of pumpkin, hot pepper, scallion and callaloo has been expanded with projected revenue returns of $54.6 million. 10 acres of ginger should also be harvested in February. The yield is projected at 170 pounds, valuing $8.5 million. In total, 60 acres of various crops are under production at Plantain Garden River, with another 230 to come on stream. Infrastructure work is being carried out on some sections. Meanwhile, at the other St. Thomas Agro Park,
We started there very modestly with 22 acres of onion.
an additional 8,000 acres will be farmed. To support that, government has installed a $395 million irrigation system, which was commissioned in January.
We have over 300 acres under production. 300 acres out of a potential 1,800 acres.
Farmers here have been able to reap 439,000 pounds of assorted crops, earning over $24 million. Another 1,500 acres are to be irrigated, for which funding has been identified and will go to tender soon. Production is on in earnest at the New Forest Duff House Agro Park on the border of Manchester and St. Elizabeth, where farmers are reaping mostly onions and scallion. The production of sorghum is also being carried out at Hill Run in high volume, with infrastructure being put in place for an increase in fish rearing for the local and export markets.
The agro park in Hill Run is intended to expand the acreage under aquaculture. And we have seen quite a significant expansion since late last year.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries is aiming to have all 9 agro parks in full operation by 2015. So work is on in earnest to start production on Spring Plain, Clarendon, Maylesfield in Westmoreland and Ettingdon in Trelawney. The bidding process has begun for the installation of needed infrastructure such as irrigation, proper drainage and farm roads to support Springplain.
We are also completing feasibility at Naylorfield and Ettendon in Trelawney. Those two we expect to come on board in the financial year starting April 1, and we are budgeting for it.
A feasibility study is being carried out for the construction of a multi-species abattoir, which will be funded by the Inter-American Development Bank. $55 million has been secured to install infrastructure on the remaining parks. This will continue in 2014 in order to have the parks up and running by 2015. This level of production means more than just planting and earnings for the Ministry of Agriculture. The broader focus has three components, the first of which is import substitution. At these agro-parks, farmers are being guided to competitively produce select import crops in high volumes. From this, we should see a significant reduction in the country's high food import bill. The second objective is just as critical, and that is to generate foreign exchange by exporting crops grown on the agro-parks. And of equal importance is goal number 3. The agro-parks are to help boost rural development, ensuring sustainable economic activity in rural spaces. In 2013, 223 farmers who were put to work on just 1,000 of the 8,000 acres of land employed over 800 workers.
Now, can you imagine the impact of that fortnightly or weekly income in those rural spaces, ensuring that kids can go to school consistently, ensuring that the shopkeeper can earn something from, as people do go to shops and buy, ensuring that the taximan can survive.
By continuing on this productive trend, Jamaica is sure to achieve food security, economic growth, and sustainable job creation.
The Ministry of Science and Technology, through Digital Jam 3.0 Caribbean Edition, is providing young persons with technological avenues for creating self-employment and generating income. Here's how it works.
Empowering young people to create their own employment, a human capital development strategy being employed by the Ministry of Science, Technology, Energy and Mining. For the past 2 years, the ministry has been increasing its training and mentorship programs to prepare young persons to take advantage of the possibilities that exist within the digital age. One successful tool in 2013 was Digital Jam 2.0. In 2014, it's being re-engineered and upgraded as Digital Jam 3.0 Caribbean Edition.
It's an initiative that the government of Jamaica, in partnership with the World Bank and a number of other development agencies, has embarked on to deal with the issue of youth unemployment.
Through Digital Jam 3.0, young people between ages 15 and 30 years will compete to develop software applications that can lead to lucrative business opportunities. It embraces the new face of work.
There are sites out there that allow persons to stay at home once they are connected to the internet, and they can legitimately earn a living and make money by going online. The cheapest app sells for 99 US cents. That's the cheapest one, and it goes up. Now, if you have access to billions of persons and a small cross-section, let's say 1 million people decide to buy your app, you have an opportunity to make real money in hard currency.
And this competition provides that platform through the different focus areas. One is the apps competition for smartphones and tablets, which encourages persons to build mobile apps. This category, which is now closed to applications, received 180 submissions from across the Caribbean. 55 were shortlisted, including 37 from Jamaica. Some competitors will focus on creating apps for all operating systems, while others will concentrate on building gaming applications.
The reason we are encouraging gaming applications, we have seen certainly in education where using gaming technology makes it easier for students to learn and for students to understand difficult concepts. So we are hoping that we can apply the gaming technology in the educational sector.
And with the government getting ready to distribute 30,000 tablets in the new school year, a new category, apps for e-learning, will encourage young developers to provide local content.
So we want apps that can show persons how they can access content that exists both in the e-world and also in the real world.
If you have an interest in this area, there is still time to submit your ideas. The Apps for e-learning deadline has been extended until February 16. Just log on to facebook.com/digitaljam3. Once you are on, click on the link to access the registration form, fill it out, and click submit. Some attractive prizes of Apple MacBooks, Samsung Galaxy S4, Nokia Lumia smartphones, Windows 8 laptops, Android tablets, and Acer C7 Chromebook are just a few in store.
But the most important prize, I think, is the opportunity for those persons to have exposure to both local and international experts who can help them to refine their idea, help them to build a business, tell them what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, and hopefully give them an opportunity to compete in the global marketplace.
So between now and March 1 and 2, all Caribbean finalists will have the opportunity to refine their ideas with technical, financial, and marketing advice from experts in the business.
They're challenged in their, in their idea, in the concept. We guide them to ask the questions, and of course to find the answer then to those questions. So how will you make money with this? Why the user should use your product, why they will buy your product, and so on.
This is to prepare them for the big day at the University of the West Indies Mona campus, Vice Chancellor's Building, where they will present a more perfected prototype of their submissions to local and foreign interests.
They will have an opportunity to pitch their ideas in front of really what will be a global audience, and they'll have an opportunity to seek funding for the concepts and the ideas that they have developed. Really what we hope is that one or two or maybe more of those persons who are finalists will attract funding and can actually go out there and build and develop a business for themselves.
The finals on March 1 and 2 will also take the form of a hackathon, where new and existing teams of programmers will compete against an allotted time on an apps project. Digital Jam 3.0 Caribbean Edition is sponsored by several partners. These include the Sir Patrick I Believe Initiative, the Development Bank of Jamaica, Caribbean Development Bank, the Canadian High Commission, Microsoft Jamaica, Organization of Eastern Caribbean State Secretariat Dominica Office, Jamaica National Building Society, Lime, E-Learning Company Limited, and The Gleaner. Outreach support also came from other groups such as JSIF, JAMPRO, ESI 8 School of Haiti, and FLOW. The Ministry of Science and Technology, after the finals of Digital Jam 3.0 Caribbean Edition, will continue to provide avenues in technology that will create self-employment for young persons and generate income.
Better tomorrow. There'll be a 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 day. There'll be a way. There'll come a time to sing a brand new song. There'll be a better tomorrow. It's a new beginning.
New day is dawning. It's time to arise. We are the gene of achievement and pride.
A bold new beginning. Time for action. We have the spirit to fight on. This is Jamaica, this is our land. We have our future with God in our plan. We'll play our part building this great nation. This is Jamaica, this is our land.
Let us make every effort to forge unity and resolve to work hard for our prosperity.
Leaving our children a legacy of hope, breaking the shackles and smashing the yoke. This is Jamaica, this is our land. We have our future with God in our plan. We'll play our part building this great nation. This is Jamaica, this
Let me hear the children say.
This is Jamaica. This is our land. We have a future with God in our plan. We'll play our part in this great nation. This is Jamaica. Come on, everybody, let's sing. This is Jamaica. This is our land. We have our future with God in our plan. We'll play our part in this great nation.
Jamaica, together we can.
That's how we leave you for today, but our information continues to flow on our website, so visit us at www.jis.gov.jm. You can also forward your comments on Twitter at JIS News or via email jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. Remember to tune in tomorrow, same time, same station for more. On behalf of the production crew, I'm Audrey Williams. Walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.